Hi there. Welcome to Beginner for B series. I've got a project that I've been wanting to do for the whole summer. I actually mentioned it in one of my videos from earlier that I need to paint my snowblower from the few times I had it last season. May even change the gear oil. I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's gotten enough usage yet to really warrant it. It's just something I feel like I should do right before the season. But it's not that hard of a job, so I may actually do it in the middle of the season. Just gassing up the B2782B now. Kind of had a question about this. I don't know if anybody else is having similar issues. Didn't even plan on this actually, but just for the heck of it, opened up the gas cap the other day to take a peek, see where my gas level's at, because my gauge inside says that I'm a full tank, and I don't remember the last time I actually gassed it up, but it looks like it's almost empty. So I don't know if anybody else has had that problem. But I put in what I have for diesel, and I'm going to take the front bucket off the loader, try and get the grapple just picked up and set down so that I could then wheel out my snowblower. The grapple and the snowblower are on the same homemade cart that I made. So that's the plan. Hope you stick around, check it out. Got a little priming to do, some sanding to do, and some painting to do. Okay, now it's time to get the grapple off from my homemade storage cart here. Not sure if I showed this in other videos or not, but this is it. The best way that I could figure to get my snowblower and my grapple stored away when I am not using them, especially the snowblower, obviously, for the summer season. But now that I put the bucket on, I had to put my grapple somewhere, so I added it to my snowblower cart that I made here. The snowblower is very heavy. I have no idea how heavy it is as far as numbers are concerned, but moving this cart around, and I put some decent sized casters on, but I tried to keep it as low as possible because I was trying to make it so that I could just hook in and hook up. The reason why I have to do all this is the 2650 with the cab is about 3 inches too tall to get into the garage itself. So this is my workout for the day. This takes a lot of moving around, but I'm going to get the grapple off, just go over and store it, get it out of the way anyway, and we'll start scraping down the snowblower, which, if you can't see it from here, I'll get you some better views. Needs some scraping down just from snow blowing over last winter. I only got this this setup here at the tail end of winter last year, so I didn't use it that much, as I previously stated. But I do want to get it kind of cleaned up, get it painted while we still have the warm weather. I don't believe I have to do anything to the chute. That's in good shape. But I'll get this sanded down, I'll get it primed, let it dry, get some Kubota orange on there, let it dry, and hopefully we'll be good to go for the start of the snow season, which is just around the corner. Stick around. Believe it or not, that went much easier than it normally does. Either that or I've been working out. Alright, next step, just going to take these supports out a little bit. That just helped with the keeping the grapple from rocking a little bit. It does have its own stands, but positioning it on 2x4s, it just had a little bit of instability when I would move stuff around, so I just stuck these supports in there. I'll remove those, come back in with the tractor. I'm not going to hook the whole grapple up, but I'm just going to get it onto the quick attach, get it moved out of the way, and we can start tackling this. those of you that are not aware, you get your quick attach on, you lower your locking levers. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. I try not to put myself underneath the machine just in case, but if you can see this, there's a couple of pins that come down and they should insert into and lock into a spot on your implement. I've had before where I wasn't lined up quite that good, and those are spring loaded, so you think you have them locked in all the way, but I've had it where the pin didn't actually go all the way down through. So I always check. Better to be safe than sorry. That way I know this thing isn't going anywhere. Where before that pin wasn't locked, this could pop out theoretically. So I'm going to move this back, just park the tractor, and we'll start tackling the paint job. I don't know if you'll be able to see in here all that well, but maybe right there you can see where some paint is chipped on the auger. That's just normal wear and tear stuff. You get down to the end of the driveway, you start running into the town sand, that type of thing. It's so beautiful out here. The sun is beating right down on me. It's great, but it's not doing much for the lighting in here. But anyway, I'm hoping you can see this. I'm just going to get in there and hand sand. Try to clean this thing up a little bit, and I'll prime it and paint it, if I haven't said that already for the 7th time. Here we go. Going to be using this 3M Sand Blaster Pro. It's 120 grit. It's considered a medium. You can actually use this, I think, after you put a primer on to smooth your primer. I'm actually just going to try to get the spots that are the paint is just lifted but didn't come off. I'm going to try to get those sanded right down the best I can so that my primer will adhere better. Then it says probably with this type of temperature, the primer should, half an hour or so, it should be all set, and then I should be able to paint over it. And before I forget, I've got to put something down. Last time I painted a Kubota orange, it was actually on my old BX with the loader, and I left an imprint on the driveway, which is still there, and my wife is not impressed with me. So in the garage here, I better put something down just in case some of the spray goes somewhere. The 3M 120 grit, it's an angled block. I'll be using this Rust-Oleum. You know, I think that's the best stuff. It's a 2-in-1 filler and sandable primer. And of course, Rust-Oleum stops rust. And I think I may have gotten this at Tractor Supply. They have a Rust-Oleum farm implement Kubota orange paint. So can't go wrong. This is only my 2nd time doing any of this painting stuff, so if anybody has any ideas or noticed I did something incorrectly, please leave it in the comments. I'd appreciate it, because again, this is all a learning experience. This is not because I am experienced at doing any of this. This is just research, asking questions to my local people, and kind of going with it and hoping that enough of you out there, if you watch, can help me along. Thanks. Okay, that took a little bit more than I thought it would. In hindsight also, I think had I planned this right and done this early in the summer, I think I would have pressure washed this. Might have taken off some of the paint just doing that. Plus I still have some dirt and different things that are in the way, and obviously I'm not going to paint over it, so I think my idea for right now, so that I don't have to go and pull all my stuff I've already stored away for the winter, my outside hoses and my pressure washer, I think what I'll do is I'll go and grab the leaf blower and just try to blow away some of this debris, some of these burrs I got off. There's pieces of this sponge, and just try to break away and just kind of clean it up a little bit so that the paint is going against solid metal and not particles. So that's where I'll be going next, is to get the leaf blower. I'll leaf blow this out, and then we'll start doing some priming. Kind of do one last check. I'm learning some things as I'm doing this. Maybe it'll help you, I don't know. When I'm cleaning trying to get all the paint spots, and especially the auger, I guess you would call this, the chute. When you get it over to the left, this sort of collection area sits just offset from the actual chute, and then of course you've got the passageway to go up through the chute is over here to the left where my hand is. When you're trying to work on these particular propellers or impellers, I think is what they're called, if you position them so that they're actually in towards that chute, you've got a lot more room to work with your hand. And at first I started fighting with trying to work around different things, but if you actually just rotate everything up. The other thing is trying to get to these and look at them. Didn't realize that, now I do, that everything's all connected gear-wise. I said, oh, I guess I'm not going to be able to move these. But if you turn this impeller, they'll move stuff around. Just gotta listen for the chain inside, that type of thing. But lets me get to everywhere without reaching around and struggling everywhere. So that's kind of nice. So I'll finish up with sanding, and we'll get back to leaf blowing this out and priming. Stick around. Prime it, choke it, usually 2 pulls. Let's see how lucky I am. Not very lucky. Got all the loose sediment stuff, but we're going to need to take a rag. Okay, that should cover any spray that I have. Directions on this: just shake it for about 2 minutes, which seems like an awful long time. And I think I'm thinking out my strategy here will be to paint starting from the inside and work my way out. I have a feeling by needing to move and getting all these different directions, it ought to be interesting. So hopefully I don't make too big of a mess. Okay, this is one of the first times using one of these head things. I have no idea if you guys can see what I'm seeing or not. So we'll see. We'll see how this all turns out in the end. Hope I'm not doing this all for nothing. Alright, we've thoroughly shaken this thing up. Let's see how she works. Didn't intend on actually spraying all this, but I suppose I have enough of a can that I can. And it was kind of hard not to. I would probably recommend some sort of a ventilator next time. But so far, this primer seems really good. I don't know if you're getting to see everything I'm seeing. For all I know, I'm painting my camera and you won't see anything. Okay, like I said, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be not quite so picky on this portion. Thought while I was waiting for paint to dry, you know what that can be like, sitting and waiting for paint to dry. And I might as well go in. When I put this to bed, I kind of did some maintenance on it besides the painting and doing the gear oil. But as you can see here, it says that you should lubricate this with a chainsaw lubricant. The guy that actually built my 2650 said just use this stuff right here. It's called fluid film. I think it's in one of my other videos. Protects all metals, lanolin base, superior lubricant, no solvents, long lasting, but it's called fluid film, powerful rust and corrosion protection. And he just said not every 4 hours, but he said just squirt a little bit down. There's a little hole up here that leads to the chain that drives the mechanism, and he just said go ahead and just spray some of that in there each time I went out. But I think what I'm going to do is take the cover off and just spray the chain again. Picked up one of these DeWalt 12 volts at Lowe's. I think I only paid like 95 bucks for it. These things are awesome. I can't believe I didn't do this a long time ago. It's not a very strong, I forget what these are called. But it's a, socket wrench of some sort. But anyway, this was great. So you got the one screw up here, or socket I should say. The other one's down here. But the thing's kind of nice. There's a few different settings on it that, especially when you're tightening, that you don't end up over tightening. It kind of like pauses itself. There's a nut on this one. I didn't realize that. I know, pretty sure there isn't one on the other one. But there's the chain there. And it still looks like it's lubricated, but we'll hit it up again. And that's, like I said, what he suggested is just spray in there once in a while. And that'll just help protect your chain. So I figured since we're here, we'll go ahead and hit it up. simple enough. We'll go check out some, see how the paint's doing. It's probably been about, in my time, about a half an hour. We'll see how this is doing. Well, I think it's ready for regular paint now. I am not seeing that I'm getting anything besides what was probably stuff that I had on the glove when I was doing some wiping down. So we'll go on to step 2 or 3 or whatever you want to call it. We'll get some Kubota paint on here. I already shook this can because it is a can that I used before. I wanted to make sure the nozzle was okay. we are going to be about a quarter of a can shy. It looks like this is going to have to get pushed back for another day, which really bums me out because I hate starting a project and not finishing it. But it is what it is. I'm going to have to stop. It is what it is. I definitely don't have enough, so I'm not going to sit here and squeeze the last little bits out of this. We will just get another can, hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully be warm enough that I can at least get some on there, and it should dry. I mean, it should be above 50, so it should be okay. All right, there we go. Another beginner move from the Beginner from B series. All right, guys, girls, I did end up going out to Tractor Supply last night. Got another can of the Kubota orange paint. I just couldn't let that sit on my mind and have not finished the painting of the B2782B snowblower. Came out pretty good. I did put the grapple back on to my floor dolly that I homemade, and I can kind of try to show you a little bit of the paint job. I think it actually came out pretty darn good as far as having, you know, I guess an aftermarket paint and matching things up. So I'll try to get in there and just show you a little bit of the finished work, but all in all, I think it did the job that I was looking to do, which was to really get any bare metal covered. It'll help for when the snow is coming down the road. It'll help that it won't stick to the metal. The paint should help that snow slide. I'll spray this down with like a like some sort of silicone or a tire shine is the stuff that I actually use. That actually helps the snow slide and not stick at all really to the augers or the impeller. But I'll try to get some camera angles. I hope there's enough light. Who knows? But I'll give you a little show here of how it actually looks now. So again, I know the lighting isn't really great, but if for anything, you can at least see that it's orange. A few spots that I did up close, and let's see. I'm actually having a hard time telling what I painted and what I didn't paint in some cases. Here I definitely painted. It's not too bad, but I didn't sand as good as I probably should have there. But like I said, all in all, everything came out pretty good. My wife probably isn't super happy. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a little tint of Kubota orange on the cement floor of the garage. But what are you going to do? If I could have gotten my floor dolly out of the garage easily enough, I would have gotten myself even a little bit more of an area where I had open air, because those spray particles, I was covered up pretty good, and I didn't think I was getting them anywhere, especially on me or anything, but my watch had a little film of it on. My clothes got some on there, so being in an area, I guess, and especially where that's kind of like a big rectangle and somewhat enclosed itself, when you're spraying in there, those things are moving around. Definitely next time wear a mask. Eventually I started covering my mouth with my shirt, just so I wasn't breathing in those particles anymore. I definitely probably had a little bit come into the lungs, but anyhow, that's pretty much it. Like I said, if I were to do it all over again, I'd try to either get this thing out, maybe even put it on the tractor, bring it out to an area where I could put down like a big tarp and do it. The floor dolly is just that snowblower is so heavy, it's hard to move it around if it's not on a nice solid cement floor. So I was kind of confined to where I was. But that's it. Like I said, I would do that a little more outdoors, do a little bit better job of the sanding. I thought I did a good enough job, but I could do better. And that's pretty much it. And oh yeah, make sure that you have extra paint just hanging around just in case. Alright, well thanks for watching the video. Hopefully my mistakes will help you if you're doing the same thing, and maybe I did a few things right that you can use to help yourself and move along through the winter. Alright, until next time, thanks for watching.